Hey, I just want to talk about what we put our energy into and where our energy is. And often I don't feel we always know where our energy is and what it's creating and what reality we're actually creating with it, especially when we are in a place of talking about things we don't like or we don't want or we don't agree with that's happening in the world. Generally, when we put our energy into those things, we're thinking of that very thing we don't like or don't want. And if we just leave it with that, then that really just brings in that energy of that very thing that you don't want, you don't agree with, you don't like. And a lot of us are coming from a very loving place, mean well, and all that. And I have no judgment of what anyone wishes to talk about or how they want to talk about it or post on Facebook or do a video or blog or anything like that of. Everything that we talk about and everyone's got to share is beautiful. Just that I would like to share that I feel that when we just talk about something we don't like, for example, an article about doctors giving crazy amounts of prescription medicine to people, and we know that there's alternative ways and better ways. Generally, when we've put that article up, it's because we don't agree with it and we don't like it, and that's fine. But if you just leave it as that, or you just talk about that thing as that, and there's no real follow on, then that's the exact thing you've brought into the reality now. That is the very thing you've been a part of creating by just talking about something like that you don't want. You've brought it into this now moment. It's still real. It will exist, and there isn't really something that's coming along that feeds the greater good of all, that feeds what we can be stepping into, what we could be choosing rather than that thing. So I'd just like to bring that awareness, that just to be aware of those things of when we get into that place, and it's fine to do it and it's great to share and bring awareness, but just watch that if you just emphasize on that thing that's not serving us, whether you're just talking about yourself or a collective thing or whatever, that I feel when you just leave it at that thing, you've actually invited that energy and that creation into being and actually enhancing it in some way as well even. And that very thing that you feel you want to change is actually being emphasised rather than shifted or changed through sharing it in that manner. So I feel, it's just important to look at what is actually in our energy field, what it is we're actually presenting, even though we feel we might be presenting something different. And this isn't always the case, when people do it, you can say something and the energy behind how you say it can make it different as well. But if it's coming from a place of wrongdoing or recognising the hurt or you're not okay with it, there's some resistance around it, or you just feel that could be doing something different, but you're just staying in that place of that thing, then for me that is what you're creating, is the very thing that you don't want to be creating and don't want to see other people creating, and wish that we were doing something more empowering and loving. So when we just get into those spaces, just to have an awareness of actually what it is we are putting our energy into, and what ways we can influence people and ourselves, and what things we can do that will help the greater good of all and move more into that loving and empowering place, and talk about, bring awareness about those kind of things, but also talk about those things that are empowering and loving and caring, and And also notice that we don't know everyone's journey. We don't know where they're coming from or what their story is, and sure, they might have an agenda, but if we think about it, we've probably all got agendas, and they're energetic things, and they don't look at good and bad and right and wrong. They just feed off the energy that is. So just be mindful, but share the love, share the wisdom, enjoy. Love you.